Hey there guys, Larry Koch from Brainy Marketing, back at you again. If it's your first time here, fantastic to see you. If you're returning, then awesome to see you again as well. Today we're doing a video on digital marketing analytics. And this is going to be a 101 real basics introduction to the concept for anyone who's a business owner or a digital marketer who feels like they need to get more of a grip on what's going on with their digital marketing, or if they haven't started digital marketing yet, they want to make sure that they're getting the most value out of it and they're able to track exactly to the penny how much it's costing to get a sale, download, or lead. Before we kick off, I'm doing a competition here every single month. It's open to all B2B companies. If you'd like to win 3 months of free lead generation, type into the comments section below, B2B Marketing Rocks, subscribe to this channel and like this video, and you'll be entered into a monthly competition. I'll announce it here on YouTube, pick one lucky company. That sounds good? Go ahead and do that. So let's kick this off with a very, very simple setting of the stage. As a digital marketer or someone who's running ads on the internet, we want to know how effective those ads are and how much we're paying to get each conversion on our website. And conversion could be downloading an ebook, downloading an app, a sale of an e-commerce store, or it could be an inquiry on the website. We want to know exactly to the pound how much it's costing us to get those. So if we're spending £200 on Facebook, we're spending £1,000 on Google, how many sales or how many leads or how many whatevers, how many conversions does that get us? And what is the cost per each of those conversions? Because then we can calculate whether or not it's a good business decision for us to keep going. We can calculate how far we still have to go. We can compare channels between each other. And we can make much more informed decisions about what we're doing with our digital marketing. So it's really, really, really critical. And there's two sort of separate but kind of equally important aspects to this journey as a fundamental. And there's a few more concepts I'm going to add on top of that at the end of this video if you're still with me. So the first is obviously on-channel analytics. So whether you're running an ad on Facebook, whether you're running an ad on LinkedIn, whether you're running an ad on Google, whether you're running an ad on Instagram or on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Each of these platforms has their own ads manager. So when you're creating the ads, you go into these ads managers, you create the ads, you choose who you want to target, and it goes out to them. Now they will all have their analytics, so you'll be able to see the success of those different ads. How many people saw those ads, how many people clicked on those ads, how many people clicked on ad number A versus ad number B versus ad number C. And this is data that you can use to improve how your advertising is done on that channel. Because if you can see the one ad was working better than others, then you're onto something with one ad, you can play around with that one more rather than the other ads that were not as effective. Or if you were targeting a specific type of person with one ad and the same ad was going to a different target of people, but the one target worked really, really well, so older people were better than younger people, or people who were interested in these topics were better than these other topics. These are the analytics that you're going to get within the platform, and they're going to help you create the best possible versions of your ads to get the maximum of people engaged and ideally clicking to go onto your website. So that's the whole point of advertising. We want to get traffic to a website so that they can hopefully take these actions that we want them to take. So that's kind of the marketing analytics in terms of each different platform, and you've got to get to know each different platform. They kind of all work a bit similar in terms of the social media ones, but Google AdWords, Google Ads Manager is very, very different to the rest of them. So you need to really understand what is being said when you run a campaign, how to judge whether that was an effective campaign, and then use that data on how you can improve that campaign in the future. So once they're onto your website, then we start talking about web analytics. And the purpose of web analytics is to improve the journey. Once anyone makes it to your website, regardless if they came through Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, we now want to make sure that, from hitting your website, whether it's your homepage or some other landing page, all the way to a conversion, as in the sale, download, or inquiry, what's the best way of making that happen? How can we tighten that up so that we don't drop off people at each stage? So the best illustration of this is like if you have an e-commerce store, you bring some qualified traffic through your nicely optimized ads to your website, but then if your website is a dog's breakfast, people are going to drop off, okay? Because someone has to add to cart, then they have to check out, then they have to add their payment details, then they have to add their delivery details, yada, yada, yada. It's not just a simple, they arrive at your website, they take an action. There's usually several pages that a user will visit. There's usually a few steps to consider before they just go ahead and drop you an inquiry. So you want to make sure that your pages are optimized and that your funnel on your website is optimized, and so that you can see where the drop-offs are happening. So that's a really, really powerful part of web analytics. The principal way we measure this is by using Google Analytics. It's completely free and really, really easy to set up on any website that you have. It's the most ubiquitous web analytics platform. There are other ones that are paid for, but it is super, super powerful, and for 90% of people, there's no reason why you shouldn't be using Google Analytics. So from now on, I'm just going to continue as if that's the de facto. So Google Analytics will help you measure these things and analyze these things, and you can query Google Analytics with questions like how effective is this page versus that page, and so on. So Google Analytics will also let you see the source that people came in from. So it will actually be able to tell you everyone who came from Facebook, all the page views that came from LinkedIn, all the sessions that came from Google Ads. You can basically see by different source who came to your website. So that's super important to consider as well. Once you've done all this, there's something that I now want to introduce called conversion tracking. So we talked about that conversion that we want. Okay, we want to be able to attribute to specific ads on Facebook and Google. We want to be able to track an actual sale right down to the ad with which they came to our website on. I don't want to just know that, okay, all these people from Facebook, like these 100 people that came to my website, 10 of them bought something. That's good, but maybe I want to know which exact ad worked, because sometimes you can have an ad that's very effective at getting people to your website, but it doesn't lead to any of the conversions that we want. So again, that's not optimal either. You might want to pick another ad that maybe is less effective at people getting to your website, but when they get there, they have a much higher chance because they're more qualified at actually turning into a conversion. So this is why tracking is so critical, because if you're missing this part of the piece, this conversion tracking, you don't actually know whether, you just know how effective you were at getting people to the platform, and in general, you've tightened up your ship so that the maximum amount of people will take a conversion, but you don't know which specific ad is actually contributing the most to your success. And if you can find that out, then you can obviously put all the money on that ad and ditch the other ones, and then you'll have a way better return on investment on your marketing. So that's why, apart from just the standard web analytics to optimize your site and the marketing analytics to optimize your ads, you need to do full end-to-end conversion tracking. So bear with me, this is where it gets a little bit sticky and you might be introducing you to some new concepts. This is where the idea of a pixel comes in. Now this is a short snippet of code that Google provides, Facebook provides, and LinkedIn provides. Google's just called the Google Pixel, Facebook's the Facebook Pixel, and LinkedIn is called the LinkedIn Insight Tag. Now these are bits of code that you can install on pages on your website, and you can have the pixel fire every time a user arrives at that page. So let's say somebody comes in from a specific Google ad. You have 10 Google ads running on Google, let's say, or 100. And when somebody comes in from a specific Google ad, they are assigned a unique value. Okay, that is user number 355,000 or whatever. Okay, that person, you can then, when that person gets to a certain page, you can have the pixel fire so that you can log it as a conversion. So let's say someone buys a product on your website. You then take them to a thank you page. So anyone who sees this thank you page, you know has bought a product of yours, or they have submitted inquiry, or they've downloaded an app. Whatever it is, if you redirect them to a thank you page, like thanks for doing that thing, then you know that person has done a successful purchase, because you can't arrive at that page without having bought something or dropped a lead or whatever. So you can have that page, you can have the Google Pixel or the Facebook Pixel or the LinkedIn Insight Tag fire and attribute a conversion to that specific user on your website. So we now know that ad number 2 that took a person all the way to your website, and then they went through your journey, and we now know that that specific user from that specific ad turned into business. So now you can look at a readout of your data that says this ad turned into this much money, this ad turned into this much money, Google turned into this much money, Facebook got us this much money, LinkedIn got us this much money. So now imagine how powerful that is. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Just think of the power that you have in your hands. If you actually know what specific individual ads are leading to your most success, and you can segment by, is Facebook doing better than Google? Should we be dropping Facebook completely? Should we be dropping LinkedIn completely? It's going to allow you to do the testing that you need and get the data back in order to take those really critical decisions if you're going to make the campaign mathematics work. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end this video. I highly recommend you watch my series on customer lifetime value, which should be linked somewhere here. That is going to be a way for you to calculate what you should be paying for a new customer. Hope that makes sense. I hope that was a great introduction. Please comment down below if you have any of those specific things I talked about. If you want me to dive into another video, 100% I will create that video. This is a small channel, we're just getting started. I listen to what you have to say. If you tell me you want me to cover one of those in particular to begin with, I will go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'm going to produce other videos on each step of this process. I'm going to do one on web analytics, one on all the different analytics platforms for the different marketing channels. So really stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed. I promise you won't regret it. You're going to get great content out of this channel. Anyway, thanks for being here and sticking with me. Hope you're more informed. Hope you are going to get more sales, downloads and leads as a result on your website. Take care. See you for the next one. Hey there, brainy marketers. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found it useful, do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video on all of your social media channels. So go ahead and do all those things, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.